let me tell you why this book is such a problem. If I'm right about what they're trying to do with the Bitcoin reserve, and here's what you need to understand. The Bitcoin reserve is not about the Bitcoin reserve. The Bitcoin reserve is about a land grab. So if you watch, if you read our editorial sort of on the Bitcoin reserve, one of the things I do is I put a little clip of Howard Lutnick who runs Cantor Fitzgerald in the back office of Tether, talking about the fact that the U.S. balance sheet has $500 trillion of land and mineral resources on it. Okay. And how we monetize that or privatize that. There's a lot of schemes rolling around about monetizing and doing things without that land and those mineral resources.
I flew down to Brownsville, Texas, right? And I met with Elon, and we spent 2 hours together. And I told him we were going to create the department Doge, right? And he did exactly that. He started laughing and he was happy. He goes, no, seriously. And I said, no, it's going to be called Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency, but we're definitely calling it Doge for you. And he was just so like lit, happy. Like he just thought it was funny. And that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
If you have the greatest capitalist in America and you can make him happy, that's pretty good. What is the balance sheet of the United States of America? What's everything we own and everything we have? I think it's worth $500 trillion. So then you say, okay, Howard, can you make 1/4% on it? Right now, if all of your assets are a giant mountain of, palladium and gold and you can't move it and you have to just look at it and go, oh, that's so pretty. That's not going to help us. But we have land and we have minerals. So if we have 500 trillion and we can make 1/4%, if you give us a $500 trillion asset, can you make $1 trillion off of it? All right.
Hopefully.
I'm going to rename that famous department we just called it. We called it the Department of the Interior. Let's give it the real name. The Department of all the land and mineral rights of the United States of America. But the asset value of the United States of America, $500 trillion, the addressable market. Mm-hmm. Can Elon Musk and I come up with 1/4%, $1.25 trillion of revenues? And the answer is.
Now, why is this important? If you put aside Bitcoin, put aside crypto, we're coming into an end game worldwide where the collateral fraud is pinching. And if you're going to reset the financial system and economy, the big issue here is how are you going to grab the real assets? The game of musical chairs is open. Who owns the real assets, right? And so that land and resources is very, very wealthy. If you look at the trial balloons on Bitcoin, all the trial balloons are, we sell our Bitcoin into the reserve, and if we reinvest in real estate, it's tax-free. So it's a tax-free swap. Kennedy floated, I think, a 1031 exchange into real estate. And so this is how you pick up the real estate, and you do it by swapping you run your Bitcoin up and you swap it in, and then you swap it into the land. And it's this is making fortunes that last generations. This is an incredible, and I could give you the whole history of financial fraud in the federal balance sheet. And this simply is, you've plundered everything you can take out with securities and cash. Now you're going to plunder the real assets. But where are you going to get the capital to do that? Here it is. Mandated government purchases will do it, particularly federal and state. But Here's the thing. And here's the problem with your book, or the wonderful thing, the divine intervention with your book. It will only work if you can create fiat Bitcoin and sell it into the government. If you're limited to 21 million, it's not big enough. And I think the problem with hijacking Bitcoin is you blow completely the lid. This makes the fraud much harder to pull off.